Personally speaking, I think the UI system was pretty nice and good. It wasn't a harsh, extreme color, not blinding me and not needing me to make out ink blotches on a piece of paper. It wasn't overly complicated and was easy to use on a basic understanding of principles and did what it was set out to do. One thing I would change about the UI is how big it is. It is more nitpicky than anything, but I do find the buttons to be a little small. Other than that, it is really easy and, if anything, fun to use. The towers are all pretty nice and unique. At least from how much I've played the game, the glue gunner does support with the other towers by slowing the cubes that come in. The defabricator makes room to do stuff by doing something I haven't seen in other tower defense games before. It removes the obstacles placed into maps by dematerializing them from existence. We then have a water and land farm, being the oil rig and factory, to make money for the ever-increasing price of upgrades. Then we have an interesting and unique set of towers, being Lord Zavuso and the orbital cannon, with Zavuso doing damage over time to help combat the large amount of tanks near the ends of waves, which pairs really well with the glue gunner. And then we have a Death Star shooting massive laser beams onto the sky, burning enemies down below. And speaking of laser beams, we have the Tesla towers zapping the cubes for early defense. Pretty electric if I say so myself. Then, finally, we have the railgun, which, for me, scratches the sci-fi itch I got. All in all, the skins in the game are pretty tame. They're almost all just in crates, with the only exception being the event exclusive crates, being the one in a lifetime event skins for that event, only available in that one event. But that is almost what every other game does, to make people come back for that game, to collect it now or know that it is gone forever. And speaking of crates, they're all almost just from coins that you get in-game, only one crate being Robux only, and for the Robux only skins that, in my opinion, aren't even really that good or worth it. In my opinion, which honestly is the only thing that really matters in my review of a game, I like the way that the co-op system is done in this game. They make it super interesting and honestly a bit unique and really cool to join parties with people. You go into the player list within the tab menu, scroll until you find the person you want to invite to your party, and then invite them then and there. They only have to click a join button that pops up on their screen, and they now have all they need to join you in your games. And the map selection is also a really cool thing. You see a preview of the map, then step onto the pad, which in a party teleports everyone over, and you leave the instance to join the active game. If you aren't in a party, you can wait in the pad area and have other people step in to join you on your grand adventure, which I think is honestly a pretty cool thing to have. One downside to having this, though, is that if your party leader accidentally steps on a pad early, you might not have your towers equipped or have bought the tower you wanted. But then you can just leave and rejoin the game to finish what you were doing, and then continue as you were. Something I don't tend to see in games anymore is having an interactive lobby. This game includes some of the bigger towers in the lobby scattered around to find, as well as objects to interact with. They have an ice rink around the spawn area filled with buckets, dragons, and cubes you can push around and sometimes sit in or on. One extremely fun thing to me that me and my friends found was the Flinginator Mark II, which we spent around 40 minutes just touching and seeing where we ended up. One time I hit just the right angle and got enough speed to get stuck in a wall in the Christmas area.
Did you see where I ended up?
Yeah, did you see where I ended up? I'm at the Christmas event.
You're not sharing your screen.
Dude, where am I?
Share your screen, Eli.
Where am I? I'm lost. I'm in a building. I think that the way this game went around doing challenges were pretty good and fun. They weren't overly complicated or difficult to do, and just needing a general understanding of how to play the game and how to synergize. Then you can get some of the rewards out of it instead of just bragging rights. One of my favorite parts of this game are the events. They aren't like some hidden, obscure thing that only a few people know of. It is a big part of the lobby. They can only hide the event by making it appear for a set time, but that's basically the definition of an event, with people calling limited time events for only super short things or for a only X people get item event. And one of the last things I like a lot about this event mess, you always have the option of doing it again next year if you miss out on an item. That is, if you really want or need it. They don't just chuck all the stuff from the event away to never be obtained again. Something really important to me when I review games are the game passes. I know some people got a little upset at me with one of my previous reviews ranting about the game passes, but hey, this is my channel. Now I know VIP is a very standard thing in every game. It's a very popular title to want. I mean, who doesn't want to be a very important person, especially with the perks and benefits you get for it. However, the 700 Robux price tag is rather steep for me, but it is definitely worth it if you enjoy the game. Now, other than that, the other game passes I don't really mind. The only one I have a big problem with is the upgrade hotkey, because why? Having a simple keybind already built in would have been perfectly fine, but instead you need to pay 149 Robux just to be able to upgrade towers a little easier. There's the Insta-Drop Game Pass, which really just takes out the 2 or 3 second drop cooldown at 49 Robux. A very small change for a very small amount of Robux, not really much to say there. Then we have the Golden Spike Trap, which I don't think people should get because the normal trap is just good enough unless you want to support the devs. The same goes for the Orbital Cannon, which if you're like playing the game, you can unlock really quickly without the game passes. Then we have the Red Guy Cyber Wagon, which I haven't used, but from people I've talked to and from what I've been told, it's really underwhelming and not worth buying, which probably explains the lack of ever seeing it used in game. Anyways, that's all from me, your friendliest Canadian, and friendos, remember, I'll be signing off the review. See you next time.